Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net on Friday the 18th of July. Thanks again for watching. I know loads of you heading off on your holidays over the next couple of days, and there's loads and loads of information to tell you about in today's video. Those of you staying at home, what have you got in store? It looks like it's going to be perhaps a mixed start to August. But I did tell you yesterday this would be a biggie, so here we go. And the weather wolf was doing his bit last night, sniffing out those storms, and that little wet nose there will certainly be on the sniff again tonight, because we've got some more torrential storms on their way. Here they are, the Herland model picking up them quite well. There's midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, and 6 o'clock in the morning. The red colour showing us where the heaviest it is going to be. You see it there just tracking through England and Wales. And by 9 in the morning, they're trying to pick out in a couple of distinct bands, but I think really what we've got to work on is the whole of this sort of area here at threat from storms and rain. Now it looks like we see some showers on Sunday. Then Monday got some fronts just moving on to these eastern coasts, bringing some cloud, some spots of rain here. But for many, it should be drier on Monday. Maybe some cloud and rain affecting Western Ireland, but for most, as I say, sunny spells and drier. High pressure still in on Tuesday. The chart's probably a little bit oversimplified. It's not exactly going to be as straightforward as this. We've got bits and pieces of cloud affecting the west, bits and pieces of cloud affecting the east, 1 or 2 showers here and there, but generally dry. And a high risk of some heavier showers on Wednesday, most of them affecting western parts of the country. Only about 20 to 30% risk, so they're still fairly well scattered, but they will be there. But drier in the east thanks to the easterly breeze. Now then, main meat of today's video was really just a look at where the CFS is taking us and the Japanese, which has just become available. So, as I always say, remember this is long range stuff, okay? So this is guidance. There's no point telling me in a few months' time, you said it was going to do this, because I haven't said that. What I'm trying to do is to show you here the various different charts, the output from the various different models, and to draw some conclusions based on my experience as to what might happen. This is not like making a forecast for the next day or so. This is completely different stuff. But the availability of computer models that we have now and the advancement in those computer models means that we can talk about this guidance in reasonable terms and be able to explain perhaps why things go right and why things have gone wrong. So please bear that in mind whenever you're watching this. Things are likely to change. But this is what the CFS is doing for week 1. There's our higher than normal heights. Look up towards the north of the country, and low than normal out towards the west. And it's this trough feature really that's out in the west that occasionally is going to release these cooler pools of air moving in from the west, bringing the showers to western areas during the course of this week. But the high holding on towards the east is going to be responsible for some mainly dry conditions off towards more eastern areas. Now, week 2, from the 24th of July, so next Thursday through to the 30th of July, and the CFS trying to build in quite markedly this higher than normal heights up towards the northeast and northwest of the country, lower than normal you notice here through the Med. So what it's trying to do during this period is to go back to my original forecast, which I shouldn't really have wobbled on, should I, over the last few days, but go back to my original ideas of this fine end to July, ahead of things turning a little bit more unsettled into the early part of August. This is week 3, 31st of July to the 6th of August, and it's bringing low than normal heights in from the south here. Look, there's the higher than normal heights up towards the north. So we've got this sort of flow here taking place. So we've got outbreaks of rain moving in from the south, thundery rain at that. According to the CFS, as the heights fall, it would stay drier longer in Scotland, but eventually the more unsettled conditions reaching there. So this is building my idea really of, I should have stuck to it, shouldn't I? 26th through to the sort of 2nd of August as probably being a dry slot in there. I know many of you are farmers who are watching this and come over for a more technical explanation of things. And it looks as if we may well get that dry slot coming in. So potential for some hay in there? Maybe. We're then into week 4, 7th of August through to the 13th of August. We've got a split taking place. Really, we're between pressure systems. We've got a trough that kind of hangs in here. We've got a ridge down to the south in here. We've got a ridge off towards the east. We've got a trough out towards the south. So this again keeps us in this mixed pattern for this period from the 7th to the 13th of August. By no means is that horrendous, but it keeps us in this mixed pattern. There isn't any sign there of big high pressure sat across the top of us. Now what's interesting is to compare that to what the JMA is seeing. This is the week 1 forecast, taking us up to next Friday. So this is taking us up to, actually it's the close of Thursday, so this takes us up to the 24th of July. And look, there's our higher than normal heights out here. Here's our lower than normal heights out towards the west. Japanese trying to make a little bit more of this trough. So they're trying to get it further into the west and the south during this week. But they've got that higher than normal highs off towards the east. So some fairly good comparisons between the two there for week 1. But then look at week 2. So this is from Friday the 25th through to, it'll be up to Thursday the 1st. Is it the 1st? Yeah, Thursday the 1st of August. And look, it still has this trough off towards the west of the country with the ridge out towards the east. But what's important to notice here, I think, is that it's making more of that trough feature to the west of Ireland. However, generally heights above normal. So it kind of fits in with the CFS in bringing those near normal heights, but it's by no means as certain as the CFS that the very end of the month will be fair. I think this is representative really of the idea of that far lower than normal height that we saw in the week 1 forecast, the remnants probably being left behind in the trough here. And then this is more significant. This is week 3 and 4. So this is from the 2nd of August through to the 16th of August. This is something I think we need to note. That deep trough in there. Okay? That's indicative of more unsettled conditions affecting the whole of the country. That's significant to be showing that so strongly during this period. Now, what else is interesting is that the ECMWF long ranges also go with this idea. What they're trying to do is from about the 2nd or the 3rd of August through to about the 16th, 17th is to put a deep trough across the country. They're trying to make us unsettled, they're trying to make us relatively cool, and they're trying to bring in some significant periods of rain during that first 2-week period of August. Remember me telling you weeks ago that it looked like the end of July would dry up, but then that first part of August would not be particularly good. So the JMA, the CFS, and the ECMWF all now piling into that story. So what about looking a little bit further ahead? Well, the Japanese have just updated their forecasts for August, September and October as well. So this is August as a whole. Now, given that we've got that deep trough on weeks 3 and 4 that we've just seen, this forecast for the whole of August, where it's actually building higher than normal heights of ridge off towards the west of the country with the trough out towards the east, suggests that during the second half of the month things improve significantly. That's probably the case. So from about the 14th, 15th onwards we get an improvement take place. That's what the Japanese are hinting at. And if we just look at the forecast for August overall from the CFS, you notice here, look as well, it has a ridge or slightly higher than normal heights through the UK for the month as a whole. And given that it was dropping the heights at the beginning of the month, that suggests it's the second half of the month where things improve. So this idea of a month of 2 halves for August, with most of the rainfall, most of the unsettled conditions in the first half of the month, but improved conditions in the second half of the month. What about September? Well, that's looking like this according to the JMA. It builds the trough in the Atlantic here, but look at the size of that ridge off towards the east of the UK. So this would put us in to a south or southeasterly flow. It would be a very warm month based on this, and actually we'd have conditions very similar to how they have been. So we'd get these incursions of showers coming in from the west, but generally with that high being in situ, it indicates that the ridge transits through the country during the end of August, early September. Then we pick up the effects of the trough late on in the month. So actually the beginning of September may be pretty good. Compared to the CFS, again, there is some similarity there, but the CFS certainly makes more of the trough out here. Look, here's the ridge, the higher than normal heights towards the east. It pulls the trough more in towards the country. So certainly it hints at the country overall being in more unsettled conditions on the CFS, but still, that high is still around. So I think I've got to lean into this idea of a reasonable beginning to the month, but then that deterioration takes place late on, and certainly a warm month ahead. And then for October now, bear in mind how far ahead we are here. But interesting to see, look, it puts a centre of high heights off towards the southeast. We've got this deep trough in the Atlantic, and what you would expect to see is this compensatory ridge and trough system across the UK and central parts of Europe. So again, it's going for, not according to this, higher than normal heights dominating through October, so certainly better than normal conditions. Although that's not backed up by the CFS for October, it sees the region of the Atlantic, it makes the heights much lower than normal across southern Greenland. That would intensify the strength of the jet coming across the Atlantic here. And what that does is it makes more of the idea of Scotland being in wet, windy conditions at times, but actually most of England and Wales probably near normal to below normal to below normal rainfall amounts, particularly in the west and the south, less towards the east, and probably temperatures around or just above normal for the time of year. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Now remember what I said, it's not a forecast, it's guidance at the moment, and of course, as you know, we update regularly this guidance, well, because we update the videos every single day. But whatever you're doing, hopefully that's been useful for you. Do stay tuned to weatherweb.net for the latest updates. Remember to come to, if you go up to radar and satellites on the homepage here, click on the lightning maps. Down the left-hand side, you get some fantastic images of the lightning moving northwards tonight. But I'm going to leave you with that for now. Don't forget that you keep WeatherWeb free of charge by keep on coming back and using the site, so thank you for that. But for now, thanks for watching, have a great day, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.